horrible episode. Never again will we go to the depths of depravity that we went to on that episode.
Lightning Jack is a 1994 Western comedy film. Comedy? Is that a comedy? We got the right movie. Lightning Jack. It was a Western comedy film.
Yeah.
We watched this. Had Paul Hogan.
Mm-hmm.
As well as Cuba Gooding Jr. and Beverly D'Angelo. That was the film you watched.
That is the film I watched from 1994.
There's been a mistake on Wikipedia because it's calling this film a comedy. Okay, I'll carry on. Lightning Jack got negative reviews from critics. Well, I'm shocked at that. On Rotten Tomatoes, the film has an approval rating of 6%. 6%, based on 17 critics. Good. Yeah, that sounds like the film I watched. Yes. They get the comedy from. The film opened at number 2 in the United States. Fucking hell, did it? Behind Guarding Tess, and grossed less than 17 million in the United States and Canada. It grossed $6.4 million in Australia. That's a lot of money for this film. $25 million worldwide. I'm amazed it made $25 million worldwide.
Probably cost $6 to make.
I'm just going to make an edit on Wikipedia. Delete this word comedy because that's...
Oh, don't do it.
Couldn't be correct.
It's one of the funniest scenes I've ever seen in a movie. Still funny.
Yeah. What was that?
No, look, I hadn't thought or remembered this film at all until I can't even remember how it randomly came up. Maybe it was on like a feed or it just came up on YouTube, and it all just came flooding back. 1994, 14 years old, going to see this thing at the cinema.
You saw this at the cinema?
I did see it at the fucking... I contributed to that 25 million worldwide.
Wow.
And, look, I went along like many of the other people, I'm sure, of that 25 mil on the good grace of
Crocodile Dundee too.
Dundee. Abso-fucking-lutely. Like,
right.
This was, I'm assuming, Paul Hogan's attempt to, crack the American market, as it were. Which he did.
I thought that was Crocodile Dundee. I think this is him trying to have another
banger
film. Yes.
Yeah. And it was essentially Crocodile Dundee in the West, wasn't it?
Without crocodiles.
Well, obviously. Or lightning.
Was it just Paul Hogan in another film starring Paul Hogan, written by Paul Hogan?
Yeah. Being Paul Hogan.
Paul Hogan trying to cash in on Paul Hogan's previous success.
Yeah.
And never quite got there again.
Look, I'm just going to say it. It's not the greatest movie ever, but I, upon the rewatch, found it just quite like
boring and shit.
Not good.
Yeah, it's definitely not good. Correct.
Just
shit.
No, I wouldn't say shit.
I'd say shit.
And it's not so bad it's good. It was just a kind of
It's just bad. It's just rambles along.
But it made me feel warm and nostalgic. So that's what I'm talking to. And come on, you have to admit.
You're nostalgic for shit.
Yeah, that's generally how it works, nostalgia. Like most of the things from when we were kids are shit, but
this film's definitely shit. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Are you going to say that for half an hour?
Yeah. Yeah.
Just because I didn't like Steve Earle and Metallica are gay.
Okay, so what's the funny scene in this movie you're talking about?
The snake bite scene. I couldn't stop chuckling. Where he lies down in the sand or something, and something bites him on the ass, and he thinks he's got venom in his ass, and he tells Cuba Gooding Jr. he's got to suck it out. And of course, Cuba can't talk. He's a mute, and he's leaning forward to go and do it. He's like, I'm not going to do it. And he reaches up, puts the gun in Hogan's hand, and has him hold the gun to his head, and then he goes to do it. I thought that's great. That's
Yeah.
no man wants to suck poison out of another man's asshole.
That's an old joke redone for the millionth time.
Where did you see it before?
And a million other films.
What? Name one.
All of them.
Yeah, see, you're full of shit. You just can't have a good time. You just can't relax and admit. You just shut off your brain, have a good time watching a film. You just have to fucking laugh. Wow, distorting. Sorry.
So I watched this on YouTube. You can get the whole thing on YouTube for free.
Yeah, it's always a good sign. A great
Which isn't
film if
really
you can
worth
find
it.
on YouTube.
It's in stunning and glorious 320p.
It was a bit fuzzy. That's where I watched it too.
Both left and right sound channels, which is pretty amazing.
That's positive. Yeah.
Yeah, an amazing stereoscope.
Mm-hmm.
It does start
And finish.
as a middle. There is an ending to the film.
Is there though? I thought that confused me. It doesn't really go anywhere, does it? Like there's no.
It kind of forgets where it's going for a bit and then comes back around to it.
Or there's no real beginning either. Like,
Well, he's always wanted to be wanted. And I wanted, and then at the end, he's wanted for $10,000. So now he's happy.
He's very happy. Yeah.
And that was a joke you saw coming 4 million miles away.
Yeah. When I'm watching this through like the 14-year-old, oh fuck, I remember this, and I hadn't thought about any of the scenes, or the film was gone. The film had been like Mandela affected, and it was no longer in this universe. And then somebody brought it back, and I was like watching it going, fuck, I remember this. Fuck, I remember that. It wasn't so much as you say.
So you're saying that, I mean, this is a thing that you'd seen before, and you were watching it again saying, I remember this bit.
But normally
it's the power of nostalgia. Yeah.
Normally when you do that, you remember the film existed. Is that you understand what I'm trying to say? This film is gone.
Okay.
Most of the time you go, oh yeah, I remember watching fucking Transformers the movie in 1986. I remember watching Master of the Universe. And so you watch it. Whereas this one, it was gone. And then it was back all of a sudden.
I do have to congratulate you for enjoying a film that doesn't have hand puppets in it. So it's a great step of maturity for you.
How dare you speak down to Sooty and Sweep and Lamb Chops?
You love those.
Sir.
You love them.
Lamb Chops was the fucking best. Did you ever watch that shit?
Yeah.
Lamb Chops.
The audience is going, I thought Dan was joking about that. But no, hand puppets.
This is a song that doesn't end. It just goes on and on, my friend. Fuck you, that's a great song. And
but you didn't like the Steve Earle album, but then you're like, a hand puppet song, every word.
Give me anything with a hand up its ass, and I'm there.
Right.
I'm fully invested. Yeah.
I see. Yeah, this is what I'm dealing with.
Do you remember fucking Rainbow? And
oh god, Zippy and George.
George. See, I was going Zippy and Bungle, right?
Oh, and Bungle.
Bungle. Is that where Mr. Bungle got their name from?
No, it was something else. But it was Zippy, George, and Bungle, wasn't it? And then the ABBA was with them.
Yeah, I don't remember
the
ABBA.
Humans. The Humans looked like ABBA. Let's face it.
I remember some ginge with a beard.
Hey, was there?
Yeah.
Was there a fat blonde chick? I think there was.
That.
Yeah.
Rainbow.
Yeah. Definitely a fat blonde chick.
Maybe the bearded ginger was in Sooty and Sweep. Yeah, fucking hell.
Yeah, well, another hand puppet mystery for Brad to figure out.
Yeah, Jim Henson was the best hand up the ass guy of all time, of course.
Couldn't keep his hand out, could he?
He couldn't. but just so good at it. I mean, he'd get right up to the elbow and he'd hold it above his head for long periods of time while watching a screen.
He could get his hand right up there and just make magic, couldn't he?
He could make magic dance.
Made the children squeal. Yeah.
And he brought us all Bowie's codpiece. So he's done
another win for humanity, really. Wasn't it?
Humanity was in the toilet before that, I think. Just downward slope. And,
you think Jim Henson was buried with his hand above his head? And cocked?
Yeah, specially cut coffin. I think would have been appropriate. It's just one arm up.
Sock on his hand.
Yeah. Maybe he's like just under the surface and they left his arm sticking up out of the ground with a Kermit on it. I think that's what he would have wanted.
You think homeless people come along and just squat down on it and then do a Kermit impression?
Do a little routine. Do a Swedish chef.
Yeah.
Dirty, dirty, dirty. Take the chicky. Yeah. Genius.
Nobody get any ideas. Let the man rest.
Yeah, just there's enough graffiti there on his headstone.
Go piss on Jim Morrison's grave.
Oh, God. Yeah. Who's he? Paris.
What a wuss.
He's still alive. Must be.
He's still going. He lives in America. I was reading.
Oh, right. Last time I saw him, he had some very poor plastic surgery done, and
he always looked like a leather handbag, and I imagine he doesn't look much better.
He looked like a leather handbag with all the wrinkles and sun, and he looked like a true Aussie gentleman. And then he got it must have been like a forehead lift or a brow lift. I don't know what they call it. And it was all smooth. And it's just wrong. It's not like Mickey Rourke wrong, but it's just wrong. You're used to seeing someone. And I just saw, not to like face shame anybody, but I saw Jennifer Love Hewitt today in the media.
Looking perfect as always. Just a little angel.
She does look lovely.
I don't want to hear any more than that. No,
but she doesn't look like Jennifer anymore. It was
don't ruin it for
whether
me.
It was the makeup or the filter, but I was like, "Who's that?" Oh, it's Jennifer Love Hewitt. What have they done?
She hasn't.
Jennifer Love huge tits. And
let's just remember her as she was with big boobs.
Yes, she was. Yeah, that's true. Her and Pam and anybody else off Baywatch. May they never grow old. May the plastic in their bodies outlive all of us.
They will. They will. Unless they rupture.
Wow, that's true.
From being squeezed too much. So this film, an interesting fact, Beverly D'Angelo, who stars as a whore in this film.
She does. Yeah.
She was shot a second film simultaneously called Pterodactyl Woman from Beverly Hills or something. She worked it into a busy schedule at the time. Her career obviously doing fantastic at the minute.
After National Lampoon.
Well, she had that, and that's about it, really, didn't she?
I mean,
she was in a lot of.
Once you work with Chevy Chase, it's all over, right? It's all downhill from there.
Yeah. I kind of wish I watched Pterodactyl Woman from Beverly Hills, to be honest. It sounds a lot more interesting. This one. Yeah, it's a great title. How does all that work together?
I don't know. Maybe it's a future episode. But
sure,
right
it should be.
Lightning Jack. And look, I'm happy for us to talk about other things. It wasn't the most enthralling, highly rated, exciting film, but I found it good to see. It was nice to see Paul Hogan looking good. He looked very dapper, very slim. You tell he's got abs under there, just being like a bloke in the film. It was nice and unassuming. Maybe that's the right term. Well, it's a family movie. Yeah.
with the occasional bit of naughtiness. I mean, there's a whorehouse in there, but you don't get
Whores. Yeah.
a lot of like whore action, do you?
Well, there was a
Nudity.
strange scene where old Cuba is, he admits they go into the whorehouse and he admits that he's never, he's a stranger in the ways of the woman. So old Mick Dundee takes him outside and shows him how to like thrust nice and slow, and then start it with a trot, and then up to a canter, and then when they start making noise, then you gallop. Right? And there's a little joke, but then Cuba goes in and he meets the whore.
Not a ha joke, really.
No, well, look, I found it heartwarming. It was, it's just old jokes you can't make anymore about how to hump. Anyway, Meat goes to this whore, and are we allowed to say whore? Is that culturally acceptable these days?
I think we should avoid using the word whore at all costs.
Okay, so should we change it to chambermaid? Is that okay?
Chambermaid's better than whore, yeah.
What about
definitely.
she who handles cock? Is that all right?
Oh, yeah, it's better than whore. Sure, yeah. Yeah, I can't see anything wrong with that one.
The cock holder who shall not be named. I think that's fair.
That's better than whore. Okay. Sausage wallet, also acceptable.
Okay, so Cuba goes upstairs with the sausage wallet. And she
What's a sausage wallet?
She who shall not hold a cock.
What? You mean a whore?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, the whore.
Okay, carry on. Sausage wallet, yeah.
Okay, good. Sausage wallet. And she says, what do you want to do? And he's like, I don't know. And she's like, well, let's do, we'll do something, but you're not allowed to tell anybody. And she's like, oh, well, you're fucking mute. You can't tell anybody. And he's like, nope. There's another little joke in there where he pulls up his pad and then puts it away. And then she opens the cupboard and there's like a fucking saddle and shit in there that he's got to put on. And I thought, well, that's inappropriate for a kid's film, isn't it? Imagine a little kid turning to you and going, Papa Dan, what's she going to do with that saddle?
Kind of wondering myself. Like, what are you going to do with that?
Sausage wallet, son. Okay, thanks.
Sausage wallet? What's that? Carry on.
She who is paid to hold the cock.
What, a whore?
Yeah.
Okay, carry on.
Can't say it anymore, though.
Okay.
Allegedly, she's a whore.
We'll edit this out, obviously, afterward.
Wow. It's a 2-minute episode.
Yep.
Yeah. So that was, there's tinges of adult humor in there. But for the most part, it just meanders along. And you kind of go, there'll be a joke and you're like, And then there'll be another joke and you're like, There's no real, I laughed out loud at the sucking the poison out of his ass scene. But other than that, it was kind of just get through it.
Yeah, it's definitely a get through it kind of a thing. Like if there's nothing else on and it's free on YouTube, I guess.
Which it is. In poor quality, mind you.
Which doesn't make a difference, really. It's not going to make it better.
If you're a historian writing a non-fiction book on the films of Paul Hogan, it's worth a watch.
Not very likely, though, is it?
Well, if you had no other reason to type it in, like if you went, what did Paul Hogan do after Crocodile Dundee? Well, you'll get Crocodile Dundee 2.
If you're a film reviewer and you're too poor to get Netflix, and this is freely available on YouTube, so you can just sort of watch that for free and then review it on a podcast, perhaps.
Yeah.
Then it would probably be a reason to watch it. But who's going to do that? I mean, what are the chances of that ever happening?
What are the chances anybody else out there remembers this film?
0.
There's no. Are there no tits in this? Yeah, there's
This didn't
definitely no.
even have Linda Kozlowski's G-string in it.
Wow, that's true. Yeah, that was a life awakening moment. That
That was
seeing
why you
Crocodile
watched
Dundee.
Crocodile Dundee. Yeah.
Yeah,
Was Crocodile Dundee actually any better than this though?
yeah. You
Like,
see, I
what
think
was the
you're getting
actual
close to
joke
the
in
reason we're
Crocodile
doing
Dundee?
this. Yeah,
Like, that's not a knife. Now
this is a
that's
knife.
a
Yeah, it's kind of
knife.
like it's just like
Like,
it's
what are the
not.
big jokes from Crocodile Dundee?
Oh, there's none really.
Yeah.
It's just life. You know, there's no. It's yeah. Now that you
He's
say it, it's just
full
day to
phenomenal.
day.
Paul Hogan is kind of completely shit, but hit it big for some reason that we can't
He's a
quite figure
handsome
out all
man.
these decades.
I
No, he's
like.
not.
He's just a
Have you,
man's man.
on YouTube, you can watch Paul Hogan's sketch show that he did.
Oh yeah.
And funnily enough, that's come up in my feed, and I watched a few of his sketches.
Uh huh. How'd
It's
that
about
go?
as funny as this, to be honest. Bit tired, bit reworn. You've seen it all before. It was done to death when he did it,
Yeah,
and somehow he's spun that into a career.
he has. Just
It's
being
all a little
Australian.
unexplainable. Yeah, basically, he was Australian at a
Yeah.
time when Americans felt like watching an Australian.
Yeah.
He just
That's
happened
it.
to be there.
Oh, this is different. He talks funny. Yeah, I was British there. That's not right.
Oh, he saw a metal object on the back of a car and thought it was a boomerang.
Yeah,
um,
exactly. So yeah, well, you know,
yeah.
maybe Lightning Jack is better than Crocodile Dundee. I like how they just sort of picked another
Well,
two-word name for the character, didn't they?
I did when I was on the IMDb. I did look at had listed all his other films, and on IMDb, this film gets a 5.5 or something. Crocodile Dundee gets a 5.5. Crocodile Dundee 2 gets about a 5.5.
Hmm.
His other film, well, I'm No Angel, gets a 5.5.
Never.
There's a bit of a trend going on here where he makes
Just middle of the road.
kind of just shit. Yeah, just shit that gets, it's got a beginning, a middle, and an end. And
Yeah.
that's about all you can expect from him.
They put it out in the cinema, and people that have got, you know, they got appointments they're waiting for, or their cars in the shop, and you got a couple hours to pass, and that's the only thing that's on. That'll get you 25 mil, I suppose. That'll pay the budget back, Paul.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Just another fucking Aussie galah. Fucking
Hey.
bullshit artist, mate. Fucking shit, mate.
He's a national treasure. He's Australia's biggest export.
Well, Barry
Probably
Humphries.
is. Who the fuck's Barry Humphries?
It was a trans woman. Dane Everidge. That was Barry Humphries.
All right, is that it's not a trans woman, that's a tranny, right? I don't see.
They don't
See,
have trannies anymore.
This is why we're contractually not allowed to talk about this shit, because there's too many variants. It's like a vintage toy line with little variants, and you can never understand them all. It's just too many. And I'm sorry, I can't keep up. I'm old. There comes a point in every person's life where they just stop trying to understand everything and just get stuck in their ways. And I'm there now.
Anyway, where we at? Lightning Jack. So I let the cat out of the bag. IMDb, the cold-hearted bastards gave this a 5.5. Someone gave it an 8. Memorable and enjoyable.
Wow. That'll bring the average up.
Yeah, 6. A greatly overlooked movie. Another person that likes hand puppets. Right. 5. Thank goodness Western comedies are a rare thing. Oh, That was
You
generous.
use
And
that,
3,
the C
when
word.
when lightning shoots the hero in the foot.
Oh,
That's
ouch.
yeah. So yeah, there was actually scrolling through. There were a lot of positive reviews at the top, but I don't
Hey,
know. That's the algorithm.
yeah, look, we can't always do the headlining action, sex, titty movies that our listenership want. Every now and
Demand
again, we have to give them an over the hill Australian man not doing much.
of mediocre talent.
Yeah. It's about, we don't want to break the algorithm. We've been going viral too much lately, and it's overwhelming.
Time to buck the trend, really. Just
So,
do some
yeah,
shit.
yeah. We're pulling a Pearl Jam and putting out no music videos.
Yeah, we're obviously going through our scraping the bottom of the barrel period. On
No, we've been
pointless
there.
and confused.
We've
Yeah.
been there. Check out Gravity, everybody. 2 views.
Yeah, that was a funny episode. So what are you going to rate this son of a bitch?
Uh, well,
If you can
I
pull
guess,
the energy together to
yeah.
form an opinion.
There's no hand puppets involved, so I kind of like,
You
I got
checked out hours
distracted.
ago. Yeah.
Yeah, there was a fucking flashlight on the wall. I kept chasing that. Um, Look, I kind of agree with the cold-hearted bastards at IMDb. Actually, I think I'm going middle of the road. It's not bad. It's not good. It's just like it was there, and I got joy out of it as the aforementioned nostalgia trip. So I'm just going to give it a bang in the middle. 5. 5. Suck the poison out of my assholes out of 10.
Uh, I'm going to give it a 3 because they did manage to keep the boom out of the shot. Like there's some production value.
Yeah,
Uh, it looked
you're
like a
right.
Western.
It did. I
Um,
like how his boots chinged every time he stepped. That's important.
there wasn't bad acting in it. It was just a
It was acting.
mediocre script. Yeah.
Hmm. Did,
But then
did,
again, it
did.
had a character arc in it. So had a,
Damn it! I've got to
kind
give
of
it a point.
yeah, I mean, it's sort of, it looks like a movie.
Well, I'm happy that you got through it. I didn't think you'd enjoy it in the slightest, and I guess I'm correct on that front. But you got to the end, so
Yeah,
doing your job.
we survived Lightning Jack.
We came out the other side. Lightning will never strike twice. So crocodile.
Yeah, there
Dundee
was
his
not
only
a
hit.
sequel to this movie, and not a
It
sequel
was
to
not.
this film.
And there
No.
wasn't a piece of lightning either, unfortunately. And nobody jacked anybody off. I was real disappointed.
Cuba Gooding Jr. did survive to make more movies after this film, so it wasn't all a disaster.
Won an Oscar, of course.
Yeah. Yeah.
Paul Hogan didn't win an Oscar. You know what? A high-ranking film where you do see the boom is Pulp Fiction. So there you go.
Do you?
In the scene where Jules and Vincent are going up to the apartment and they're talking about Marcellus Wallace's wife and the whole foot rub conversation, right? Everybody knows that conversation. And they walk up to the door and they check their watches and they go, "We're a bit early, let's hang back." And they walk down the hallway and they keep talking, I'm just saying, it's laying your hands on a woman in a familiar way. And they go to around the corner and down to the stairwell. Now, if you keep your eyes on the top right of the screen above the stairwell, the boom falls into shot and then out of shot. And then they walk back to the door. Let's get into character.
Well, obviously, Quentin Tarantino can't hold a candle to Paul Hogan. Obviously,
that's true.
The man's
and also,
talent.
You could argue that Quentin did it on purpose to make it look more sort of grindhouse exploitation style.
I don't think I'll argue that. No.
Right. So if you went down to your local Blockbuster video and you were picking out, your girl for the night, your grinder
Prostitute.
date. Yeah,
Well, yeah.
okay. Sorry, your sausage wallet for the night.
What's a sausage wallet?
She who shall not be named who holds the cock.
Oh, whore. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. And she's picked Lightning Jack. And she's like, oh, please, Daniel, can you pick some? Jesus, I sound like the fucking little, please, sir, may I have some more? She's picked Lightning Jack, and she wants you to pick something to match up with it. A double feature, if you will. What are you choosing?
An infinitely superior film, Cactus Jack, starring Arnold Schwarzenegger.
No, have you watched that recently? I almost picked that over
Kirk
this
Douglas.
one, and it is a piece of shit. Piece of shit. Rewatch it. Fucking horrible. Jesus Christ.
Does
It
have a
should be funny, but
classic
it's
line
not.
in there. What's your father's name? Handsome stranger.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Piece of shit.
probably is. But whatever.
I
It's got to be
tried,
better than this.
No, it's not. In a similar fashion, I sort of refound that and thought, yeah, great, it's on YouTube in full, and started watching it. Oh, fuck me. I'd watch this thing 4 times over before I tried to watch Cactus Jack again. And don't you dare fucking pick it for next week.
Next week on Pointless and Confused. Cactus Jack.
Brad gets fucked off again. So what do you do? Oh, you double featured it with Cactus Jack. Fuck. Oh, let's mix it up. So you got Lightning Jack. It's a Western night. You're going to start it off light with the family, and then they've gone, and then I'm going to watch.
We're growing old here, Brad. Come on.
I know. I'm trying to think of the title. There's 2. It's either Unforgiven, which is the classic Clint Eastwood Western, or no, fuck it. I'm going Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. Yay!
Well done, Brad. Well
I got there.
done.
Not a
You
puppet
got-
in sight.
At least you tried your best.
Actually, the
That's
Muppets
what
should have done
counts.
a fucking Western. What was Jim Henson thinking?
Muppets Go West?
No, there's Fievel Goes West you're thinking of. That's the fucking mouse. There is no Muppets Go West. Shame.
What was that Johnny Depp one? He was a lizard. It's like
Oh, Rango.
Rango.
It's supposed to be good, but I struggled to get through it as well. I liked Johnny Depp. I liked The Lone Ranger. Did you ever see that film?
Little bits, and I didn't like it. No.
Yeah, I found it quite. Again, maybe I'm just a fucking idiot, but I enjoyed it. Everybody was.
I don't
hating
think
on it.
there's a maybe about it, Brad. I think it's fairly certain at this point. Fairly certain.
What? Can you remind me again why I do this show with you? Really?
Free hand puppets.
Oh, yay! Look at the colors.
We shine a light on the wall and keep you amused for
What is
hours.
it? What is it? What is it? What is it? What is it? Ah.
Who's a good boy? Who's a good boy? Who's a good boy?
Ah.
Brad sits there wondering, they never tell me who's a good boy. I'm never going to find out. Yeah,
What's that from? That's in something.
I saw it. It was a meme on the internet.
Seeing we've got some time to blow, what's your favourite Western? Have you got, can you think of a good Western off the top of your head that you enjoyed?
Oh,
Western guy?
Unforgiven's a really good one.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm. It's old
What's
Gene Hackman, Morgan Freeman.
Morgan Freeman? Yeah, he is in it. Clint Eastwood, yeah. What's another good Western?
You know what? Fuck all this. Blazing Saddles. Blazing Saddles should have been the obvious double feature classic Western.
Yeah.
Like, hard to
Nothing-
top.
Nothing controversial in that film.
Nothing
No.
controversial at all. Funniest movie you'll ever see. It's going with an open mind. There is a scene where an old lady, flips the bird and says, fuck you, N-word, at the
What
sheriff.
about Bone Tomahawk? That's a good Western.
Oh, fuck, where they cut the guy in half. That shit lives with you forever. That was heavy. Good though. Good film. Sure.
It's kind of got a plotty first half, and then that second
Yeah.
half, you're like, whoa.
Gets right into it, eh? And it turns into like a Saw movie almost, doesn't it? Like,
It's pretty brutal.
crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Pretty brutal. Pretty brutal.
There's
All
a
right.
lot of good westerns trying to.
Well, like, Pale
We got
Rider.
Young Guns.
Oh, Young Guns 2 was better than Young Guns, I think.
Haven't seen those in forever.
No, neither.
Apparently, they had logistical problems shooting this movie because City Slickers 2 or City Slickers was being filmed at the same time. Young Guns 2, I think, was being shot at the same time. And
Wow,
a few other
westerns
westerns. Wyatt Earp was being shot at the same time. So they were running out of spaces they could shoot.
Oh, fucking Tombstone with Val Kilmer and Kurt Russell. Be a huckleberry. That shit is fucking awesome too.
Yeah.
310 to Yuma was surprisingly good.
Yeah, we could have watched all of those. Yeah.
Well, yeah, but we didn't. Yeah.
Far and Away with Tom Cruise. That would have been
get
superior.
fucked. No, Tom Cruise, piece of shit. That can't have been a hit. I know they say he's only had one misfire in
that was it.
I think Far and Away might have been it. Yeah.
And Far and Away was a flop. Yeah. They don't count Legion because he wasn't famous yet.
Yeah.
It wasn't his breakthrough.
Well, he's flopped now. His Mission Impossible bombed, didn't it?
I think it's breaking even or something.
Yeah, that's not a hit, is it? It's a breaking even. He's going to be crying his fucking $100 bills, wiping his eyes. They're not even going to be able to make the second one.
There's rumors he's leaving Scientology now, but I don't know. That's been going on for a while.
Oh, they'll never let him leave.
Apparently he was in places where there was a Scientology center and he did not go. Conclusive proof. You heard it here.
How dare he? Allegedly.
90th. Yeah.
Oh, well.
So who knows?
Great. Paul Hogan. Lightning Jack.
Fuck you, Paul Hogan.
Yeah. Fuck you, Paul Hogan.
Yeah.
Wonderful.